This is WLKY Louisville, live, local, late breaking. Your complete news coverage for Greater Louisville starts right now.
Now at 4:30, a winter weather advisory is in effect this morning with more snow headed for the metro.
Good Tuesday morning. It's 4:30. We are so glad you decided to join us. I'm Monica Harden.
And I'm Colin Mayfield. Jennifer Bayless is off today. Thanks for waking up with us.
We'll get to our top stories in just a minute, but first we want to get a check of the forecast with meteorologist Matt Milosevic. A lot of people really concerned today.
And the good news is, though, Monica and Colin, there is the anticipation of snow. Already a few flurries out there right now. It's not so much that we're expecting inches upon inches of snowfall. It's the timing that's going to be concerning out there this Tuesday, as the better chances for even a light accumulation of snow will be more so towards the peak of the morning rush. So we're keeping a close eye on the radar this morning. Close eye outdoors right now on our WLKY tower camera, kind of bouncing up and down a little bit in a breeze that's starting to kick in. It's been out of the southwest through the overnight. Temperatures have actually warmed above freezing, but there you can see Super Doppler radar with a little bit of snow on it, especially as you head north of the metro. The snow right now, though, on the Doppler network is indeed very light out there. We're only talking about generally mainly a few flurries to a light snow shower. There's a little better potential for some steadier snow showers off to our north and west. And the question is, do we get into any heavier burst of snow with some snow squalls and showers possible a little later on today? I think that potential is there, especially in the northern half of the viewing area, which will hold the potential for an inch and possibly in a few isolated locations 2 inches of snow less off to the south. The good news is temperatures have risen at or above freezing across the viewing area this morning. 32 in Paoli, but 37 at Louisville International, 36 Bowman Field, and outside our studio doors. Feels like 29 with that southwest breeze at 13 miles per hour that's gusty at times. Even though temperatures are above freezing after the cold of yesterday and the day before, road temperatures are below freezing. So as any snow moves on in, we'll be watching that closely on the roadways. But the snow will end by the noon hour. We'll be just turning breezy and colder, falling into the 20s this afternoon. Wind chills near 10, and it'll be frigid this evening as we fall into the teens. In your 3-day forecast, I think we'll be down to 24 by the end of the day, just 27 for a high tomorrow, but Thursday holds some milder weather at 47 degrees. So yes, winter weather advisories in effect. We are watching for, again, some mainly minor snow accumulations across the area, but again, it's going to be that timing as we head towards the morning commute that we'll keep a close eye on. But right now, let's send it back to the news desk.
All right, Matt, thank you. A man shot by a co-worker remains in critical condition this morning at University Hospital as police continue to look for the shooter. It happened yesterday afternoon at Cardinal Kitchens on Hiawatha Avenue. Dozens of officers, including LMPD's SWAT unit, were dispatched to the business, where investigators say an argument ended with the suspect pulling out a gun and firing at several co-workers. 2 men were hit, including that man who remains in critical condition. One man who was inside at the time says it was absolute panic.
Well, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. You know, I thought it was firecrackers, and I seen everybody start running, you know, and it was gunshots.
The man in critical condition was hit in the chest. The second man was hit in the arm. He's expected to be okay. Police have not commented on the shooter's identity or how the argument began. This morning, funeral arrangements are pending for an 8-year-old boy shot to death while with the babysitter over the weekend.
Elgin Anders says he accidentally shot Andre O'Neill Jr. Saturday night. It happened on 34th Street in West Louisville. Anders says he and another woman took Andre to Corsair after he was shot. He died just after midnight in the ER. His aunt says they find it hard to believe it was an accident.
Because if it was truly an accident, you're going to first call the ambulance and wait for the ambulance to come. Y'all not medically trained to take care of a gunshot wound victim.
Now, the case will be sent to the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office. Meantime, grief counselors were on hand at North Haven Elementary, where Andre went to school. His funeral is at 11 Saturday morning at Midwest Church of Christ on Garland Avenue.
Well, this morning, police officers in Shively are collecting donations for one of their own who was wounded while serving a search warrant. Wes Singleton was shot 4 times last Friday. He's now in stable condition at University Hospital. His co-workers know there will be costs associated with his injuries. That's why an account has been set up in his name at the Louisville Metro Police Officer Credit Union, where people can donate.
That's the one thing that he wanted to make sure that everybody knew, is that he appreciates, him and his family are so appreciative of the prayers and the support that everybody has given him. It's been overwhelming, and he's so thankful.
To learn how you can help, visit our website at WLKY.com. The suspect in this case, Kenneth Probus, was also shot. At last check, he was in serious condition.
4:35 now. We are learning more this morning about the killing of a man and the rape of a woman during a 3-hour standoff in Du Bois County, Indiana. Deputies say Kyle Popplewell entered this home and stabbed a man to death. Jeffrey Perry died from multiple stab wounds. Perry's girlfriend told deputies she tried to stop the man, but he swung the knife at her, cutting her in the chest. When she went to call 911, deputies say Popplewell barricaded himself in a bedroom with another woman. He's accused of raping her while officers tried to negotiate with him.
Because the people out here are very friendly. You know, everybody tries to stick together, be friends, and something like that. That was a shock.
Court yesterday, Popplewell entered a not guilty plea. He's being held without bond. State police are asking for your help this morning in finding 2 men who escaped from Dismas House in Louisville. We're told James Willis and Jonathan Oliver escaped yesterday morning. Willis was serving a 10-year sentence out of Daviess County for trafficking a controlled substance. Oliver also served a 10-year sentence out of Daviess County for manufacturing meth and unlawful possession of a meth precursor. If you see them, call police.
A southern Indiana man is now behind bars accused of leaving the scene of a deadly crash. We first told you the story yesterday morning. State police say 22-year-old Derek Deaton hit Mitchell Lovin in Washington County early Sunday morning. Troopers say the 70-year-old victim was hit as he was getting out of his minivan after it slid off the roadway on State Road 56. Now Deaton is being held in the Washington County Jail.
Workers are recovering this morning after an ammonia leak at a local business sends them to the hospital. It happened at Louisville Processing and Cold Storage, that's in the 800 block of Cane Run Road. The leak was reported in a mechanical room that is, among equipment used for cold storage. Employees say they were evacuated after an alarm sounded. One person was taken to the hospital after inhaling ammonia and becoming nauseous. Others drove themselves to the hospital.
Up next, a house explodes as a mysterious and deadly blast rocks a residential area in Ohio.
Plus, the president's final State of the Union address, why tonight's address will be different when WLKY News returns.
Winter weather advisory in effect for a good chunk of the viewing area in the anticipation of some light to at times moderate snow that could accumulate to a dusting to an inch. A few locations could even get more than that. I'll tell you where the better potential for some of the higher snowfall amounts. We'll talk timing and we'll talk about a cold 7-day forecast coming up.
You're watching WLKY Morning News.
Well, Matt, the temperatures are not going to budge much.
No, in fact, they're going to be falling as we head later on into today. You step outside right now and compared to yesterday morning.
Feels better.
Yeah, where some locations were in the single digits. In fact, many. Yeah, it's a nice warming trend,
right.
But that's not going to last for too much longer. In fact, let's step outside. We have cloudy skies, even a few flurries flying around parts of the area right now, especially from the metro northward. Nothing that's going to be causing any immediate concerns across the area. We're going to be looking a little later on in the morning as a cold front nears us for the potential for a little better chance of some snowfall and some light accumulations coming in across the area. Right now, though, the temperature difference is significant after lows yesterday in the metro down around 12 degrees at Louisville International. We're 37. We got down to 10 at Bowman Field, up to 36. So about 25 degrees warmer across the board than where we were yesterday. Southwest wind at 13 miles per hour, though, does make it feel like the upper 20s. But everyone at or above freezing across the area. But don't let that fool you as we bring in some snowfall from the north and west this morning. Road temperatures are going to be at or below freezing after the very frigid air we've had over the past couple of days. This minor warming trend really isn't going to be enough to warm the roadways as of yet. So we'll be watching out closely. But good news is Doppler network not picking up a lot, although there have been some flurries reported out of the north. You could see that first band starting to move on through. The better opportunity for higher accumulations, though, does look to be off to our north today. Notice towards Indianapolis, Cincinnati, a couple of bands of snow moving on through. That's what we were concerned with yesterday heading in towards the metro and WLKY viewing area. And there's still that potential for a few of these bands to wrap on in. But again, the better, at least, energy in the atmosphere for stronger snow showers does look to have moved a little farther to the north. So in your day planner, any snow that falls is going to be mainly during the morning, including during the morning commute. That begins to end, though, as we head midday, and then we're just going to plummet our temperatures. See wind chills near 10 by the end of the day with highs only in afternoon highs in the mid-20s, and then we'll fall into the teens as we head into tonight. As far as how much snow this morning, about a dusting to an inch in a large portion of the WLKY viewing area on top of what's already on the ground. In a few locations, especially as you head farther to the north, again, where that better energy for steadier snow showers will be up around Seymour, North Vernon, perhaps Madison and Carrollton. That's where you'll see potentially a little higher amount, perhaps as much as 2 inches of snow. -9 in Fargo. Arctic air holding just up to the upper Midwest. That's going to be nudging in our direction. So your 7-day forecast is a cold one. 30s this morning, falling into the 20s. We don't move out of the 20s tomorrow. We do see a rise into the 40s, though, Thursday and Friday ahead of rain chances Friday and Saturday. But Saturday night, Sunday into Monday is another reinforcing shot. Frigid air moves in, including for the Martin Luther King Day holiday. We get cold, we have chances of some light snow once again. That's the latest on a very changeable cold forecast. 4:43 now. Let's send it back to the news.
Matt, thank you. New this morning, a couple and their 2 young children have been killed in a house explosion in northeast Ohio. The explosion happened last night at Northfield Center Township. Emergency responders arrived on the scene and saw flames shooting from the home. Firefighters say the bodies of a man, a woman, and their 2 young girls were found inside. Police have not identified the victims. The cause of the explosion remains under investigation.
Your time now, 4:43. President Obama addresses the nation tonight in his 7th and final State of the Union speech. And this year's address will be unlike any the president's ever delivered before. Weijia Jane reports.
The President of the United States.
In his 7th and final State of the Union address tonight, President Obama will talk to the American people about the nation's challenges and opportunities ahead.
What's critical are the kinds of decisions that we make now will have a significant impact on not just the next generation of Americans, but future generations of Americans.
I don't think I have ever been more optimistic about a year ahead than I am right now.
The president is expected to highlight executive actions he plans to take to tackle gun violence without congressional approval. But the White House says he'll also discuss issues where both parties can work together.
We've seen that there's strong bipartisan support for criminal justice reform on Capitol Hill.
This year, President Obama invited 23 guests to the House chamber to hear his speech, including a Syrian refugee and an American hero. 23-year-old Spencer Stone and his 2 friends helped take down a heavily armed gunman on a Paris-bound train last year. White House staffers called him last week during his commute to